What if everything you were taught about money was incomplete? What if the dollar in your pocket was not just a currency, but a weapon, a tool of influence, a silent system of control? You work for it, you save it, you worry about it, yet almost no one asks the most dangerous question of all. Who decides what the dollar is worth? Not what it says on paper, not what politicians promise, but who truly controls its power. Because whoever controls the dollar controls inflation, controls debt, controls war funding, controls global survival. This is not a theory. This is not propaganda. This is the real architecture of modern power. And once you understand it, you will never see the economy or America the same way again. The dollar is not just America's money, it is the spinal cord of global trade. More than 60% of global reserves are held in US dollars. Over 80% of foreign exchange transactions touch the dollar at some point. This means something profound. Even when America is not involved in a transaction, America is still involved. If you are a factory owner in Vietnam, a farmer in Brazil, or a government in Africa, your fate is still tied to decisions made in Washington and New York. This is what economists call currency hegemony. But empires are never accidental. After World War II, Europe was destroyed, Asia was exhausted, America was untouched. The US held over half of the world's gold, the strongest military, the most productive economy. In 1944, the world gathered at Bretton Woods. The decision was simple but historic. The dollar would become the anchor of global finance. Gold would back the dollar. The dollar would back the world. For decades, stability followed. But stability always carries a hidden cost. In August 1971, President Richard Nixon went on television.
He made a decision that reshaped human history. The U.S. would no longer exchange dollars for gold. This ended the gold standard. From that moment on, money became faith-based. No physical limit, no hard anchor, just trust in American power. Critics warned of collapse. It never came. Instead, the dollar grew stronger. Why? Because America replaced gold with something even more powerful. Oil is the lifeblood of modern civilization. Cars, planes, factories, militaries. After 1971, the U.S. struck a deal. Oil would be priced exclusively in dollars. In exchange, U.S. military protection, political stability, strategic alliances. This forced every country to acquire dollars just to function. Energy demand created dollar demand. The system locked itself in, and it still exists today. The Federal Reserve is the most powerful institution most Americans barely understand. It is not directly controlled by Congress. It is insulated from elections. Its tools, interest rates, quantitative easing, liquidity control. One decision can crash markets, create bubbles, trigger recessions. The Fed does not choose winners directly, but it creates the environment where winners are born. This is quiet power, invisible power. Modern money is born from debt. When banks lend, money is created. This means growth depends on borrowing. But debt always demands expansion. More loans, more spending, more inflation risk. If debt slows, the system panics. That is why bailouts happen. That is why printing never truly stops. Wall Street is not separate from the system. It is the accelerator. Hedge funds, investment banks, asset managers, they do not control policy, but they benefit from it first. During crashes, they get liquidity, they survive, they consolidate. Power concentrates. This is not corruption, it is incentive design. When countries challenge the system, pressure follows. Sanctions, currency isolation, financial exclusion. Access to dollars means access to the global economy. No dollars, no trade, no stability. This is financial enforcement. China is building alternatives. Digital currencies are rising. BRICS is experimenting. But replacing the dollar requires replacing trust. And trust is backed by military power, legal systems, market depth, and political stability. No rival matches all four. Not yet. The dollar is not evil, but it is not neutral. It reflects power, incentives, and history. It rewards stability. It punishes weakness. And it survives because the world still believes there is nothing safer. Until that belief changes, the dollar remains king. You don't just use the dollar, you live inside it. Every paycheck, every loan, every price. The real question is not who controls the dollar. The real question is, what happens the day the world stops believing in it? Let's imagine something that feels impossible. No panic, no explosions, no headlines screaming collapse. Just a quiet shift, a slow one. A world where the dollar is no longer the center of gravity. Not because it failed overnight, but because belief slowly drifted away. History shows us something important. No currency collapses suddenly. It fades. Confidence erodes first. Usage declines next. Power disappears last. So what would that world actually look like? Not in theory, in real life. It doesn't begin in America. It begins elsewhere. A few countries quietly decide to trade oil without dollars. Nothing dramatic, just small bilateral deals, local currencies, gold settlements, digital alternatives. At first, Wall Street shrugs. Markets barely react because the dollar doesn't collapse from rebellion, it weakens from irrelevance. Slowly, demand softens. Treasury auctions become harder to fill. Interest rates need to rise to attract buyers. Debt servicing becomes heavier, and Americans feel it, not as a crisis, but as pressure. Higher borrowing costs, slower growth, tighter budgets. No villain, no single moment to blame, just friction. Now zoom in, not on governments, on people. A family in Ohio, a small business in Arizona, a student in California. Their lives don't collapse, but they feel different. Credit is tighter. Mortgages are expensive. The dollar doesn't stretch as far. The invisible privilege America enjoyed for decades, cheap imports, global demand for debt, starts to fade. Not dramatically, gradually. And for the first time, Americans experience what most of the world already knows, what it feels like to live without monetary dominance. Outside the US, something else happens.
Countries gain room to breathe. They are no longer forced to hold massive dollar reserves. They diversify. Trade becomes more regional. Supply chains shorten. Power spreads. No single currency replaces the dollar. Instead, there are many centers. This world is not chaotic, but it is slower, more fragmented, less forgiving. And for the first time since 1945, America must negotiate power instead of assuming it. Here is the uncomfortable truth. No one ever fully controlled the dollar. Not the Fed, not the government, not Wall Street. They managed it, they steered it, but the dollar's real power always came from belief, from shared agreement, from trust. And trust is not permanent. It must be maintained. Every dominant currency believed it would last forever. The Roman denarius, the Spanish silver real, the British pound, each defined its era. Each financed empires. Each eventually faded. Not because they failed completely, but because the world changed. The dollar is not exempt from history. It is only the current chapter. So when you hold a dollar, you are holding more than money. You are holding trust, power, history, and belief. The dollar does not rule the world by force. It rules because we all agree it does.
And the day that agreement weakens, not collapses, just weakens, the world changes, not with a bang, but with a whisper. And most people won't notice it happening until it already has. The question was never who controls the dollar. The real question is who believes in it tomorrow. Because money is not paper, not numbers, not screens. Money is a story, and every empire lives only as long as the world keeps believing its story.